to BergenStages Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I am Jim Bumgardner, your host. Currently, we are finishing our 50th anniversary season here at BergenStages. And before you ask, no, I have not been here all 50 years, just 20 of them. And what a season it's been. We started with the story of the town of Laramie, dealing with the brutal murder of Matthew Shepard in the Laramie Project. We followed that by Man of La Mancha, which is the story of Cervantes telling the story of Don Quixote, the wonderful hero about hope and joy. And then we follow that again by a crazy show called about Dungeons and Dragons called She Kills Monsters. And it has just been hysterical, a lot of fun, and a lot of joy to bring Dungeons and Dragons to the stage. But what better way to finish our 50th anniversary season than with the adaptation for the stage of the Steinbeck novel called The Grapes of Wrath. And who better to have tell us about the story are two of the stars and two friends of mine joining us today. So welcome to the show, Rose Ward and Ray Parentes. Hey, guys.
Hi,
How are you?
We're doing great. Thank you for asking us to be
Thanks for
here.
being here. So we'll talk about The Grapes of Wrath and the story and the process that you're going through as actors mounting this stage adaptation. But I think we'd love for the audience to know a little bit more about you, Rose Ward. Rose, how did we get you here at Bergen?
So I realized a little later in my career that I needed to go back to school and get myself an education. I had graduated from the American Musical and Dramatic Academy back in the late 80s and started working for Disney as an entertainer.
Right, that's right.
So and in my journey, I realized that I probably need to get some more academics, and I was interested in perhaps maybe pursuing a career in teaching acting and, some speech communication, speech in general, voice and speech, projection, working with actors, and as an actor myself, losing my voice, I realized how important the voice is, and so I started my journey in the academics. And so I found a second home here at Bergen Community with actually you as being one of my first directors and one of the shows that I've done here. So, and it's really felt like home. So anyway, I got my associate's degree and then just kept continuing on with furthering my education in speech.
And you took your time because you had a family.
Correct.
So you were raising a
Yes.
family, so it was not hey, I'm going to do this in a year and a half or 2 years here.
Right.
You just kind of stretched it, which is fine.
Yes,
You
yes.
take it at your own pace while you raise a family, which is,
Yeah.
I think, so admirable that you had done it like that.
Well, thank you.
And then you finished here and went to...
I went to William Patterson because they had the program there, and unfortunately, my whole theater experience and getting involved in shows came to a complete halt because of the demand of the program was pretty intense and clinical hours and studies. There's no such thing as part-time in the program, so it was pretty intense. So I just did that, and I missed the theater, so I was very excited. Actually, when Ray reached out and said, "Hey, they're doing Grapes of Wrath," of course, I didn't really know it. I wasn't too familiar. I knew the novel, but I didn't know the play. But I came out, I thought, you know what, I'm itching to do a show. Right. So it was perfect timing.
Even with your crazy schedule.
Even with my crazy schedule. But at least now the studying part is gone, and I'm working now as a speech language pathologist. So
and the kids are grown. So
and the kids are grown,
yep.
and fast forward, here we are.
This
so
is amazing.
Yeah.
Good. So Ray, let's get about you. How did we get you here?
About 10 years ago now, I had just gotten out of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I landed here, and my first day here, I couldn't find any of the actors or any of the theater people and stuff like that, but thankfully my first class here was in Ender Hall. So immediately after that class, I took a little walk and found your office, and I was like, "Hey, where's the community that I belong to?" And you're like, "Right here." And so here we are now. Yeah.
And we're doing a play that you might want to audition for.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, where did you go to high school before Ada?
I went to Wayne Valley High School.
Oh, cool, cool. And did you do theater while you were there?
Yes.
As well?
Yeah. I started theater in high school with Bat Boy. We did the musical Bat Boy. The only show that I didn't do in high school was Noises Off, which I eventually got to do here. Yeah,
got to bring it here. Oh,
yeah,
cool,
that's
cool.
how it all started.
And Rose, did you before AMDA? Did you do high school shows?
Yes.
That's what got you interested. Were
Yes.
you a musical theater person?
Both. Well, I was staying in the choir, and as an alto. And I did Grease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was just in the chorus. I was a freshman in high school. So, and I begged my music. The music director was also our choir teacher, so I would beg him, let's do Grease, let's do. So he, I think I like drove him crazy enough. So we finally did it. I wanted to play Rizzo so bad, and but I got casted as just an ensemble
young
because
to-
the seniors get the lead
Right,
roles
right,
and all
right.
that. So I did Grease, I did Pippin, and then I was in The Sound of Music, and I also did Rebel Without a Cause.
Wow.
And then my absolute favorite was Plaza Suite with Neil
show.
Simon, who
Yeah,
I love.
yeah, yeah,
I was in
yeah.
the last scene, with
Yes.
the mother of the bride, which I absolutely loved. And that was really, I think, what kind of I said to myself, you
like acting.
yeah. And the comedic timing, I just, I just felt it. I mean, well, he's so wonderful,
Oh,
Neil
Neil
Simon.
Simon's,
Yeah, that was the start of it. And then I auditioned for AMDA. It was my acting teacher that said, you really should go and audition. I didn't think that I was going to get in, and I did. And then from there, everything just, I was also a Club MTV dancer back in the '80s, if anybody, So and then I got the job with Disney.
Where was high school?
High school was in Elmwood Park, New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Elmwood
I
Park
didn't
Memorial
realize that.
High School.
Great,
Yeah.
great. And you, because we have an ADA and an AMDA, so did you even consider ADA? And did you consider AMDA? Because you say you're a musical person. Did you ever think of AMDA, and did you ever think of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts?
No, because I was just such a big music person, and I did enjoy singing. I still do enjoy singing. So I didn't
Made
even,
sense. That
I
made
didn't
sense,
even look into ADA. It was just AMDA for me.
And then you finished and went to Disney.
Graduated from there, got hired, just a few months after I graduated from AMDA, and I was one of the youngest actors actually to be hired, and it was a group of us. It was about 26 of us that we all got split up once we got there, and who worked Streetmosphere, and some of us worked in some of the theaters inside. So we were an improvisational group, but we also had a script, but it was sketch
Not the
comedy.
whoop-de-doo review?
No. But we did a sketch comedy show.
Oh.
Yeah, and some improvisational
I
work.
had no idea that,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like a TV parody of everything was evolved around.
And this was Disney World, not Disneyland.
Walt Disney World in Florida, correct?
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Great,
that was
great,
fun, and I did that for 4.5 years.
And then here at Bergen, I know we were actually talking in the green room before. You had done Crimes of the Heart. You did Kindertransport
Correct,
with me. That
which
was
the
the first one we got to work together. I got to
loved.
do that again. It's just like it's
Oh
time
my
for the
gosh.
anniversary version of the show.
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
The two of you worked together in company. So you're back together again on the Saccone stage.
That was also another fun show.
And what am I forgetting?
Three Penny.
Three Penny Opera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So great, and now we got
Yeah.
you back for Grapes of Wrath. And Ray, as we were just talking, you walked to my office. I said, Brighton Beach Memoir, speaking of Neil Simon, is auditioning. And you got a great part in that, playing the dad.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to remember, what else had you, I know you've done Much Ado.
Company,
Company.
of course, and yes, Much Ado About Nothing, Noises Off, and
Man of
Rumors.
La Mancha.
Man of
Man
La
of La
Mancha, of
Mancha,
course,
yeah.
and yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And now what's also interesting, before we get, there's so much to talk about, guys. You have the new Alumni Theater that we're going to bring you back and just talk about the Alumni Theater. But do you want to give us a little kind of blurb of what your goal is with this theater company?
Sure, yeah. I like Rose said, and like so many other people I've heard say, and myself, I feel like Bergen is like, another home. Kind of feels like my artistic home. I feel the most free here. I trust the directors that I've worked with, and it's just ultimately created just this awesome community here that I can't help but just that I couldn't help over the years, but come back to, and now I'm here all the time. So I love this community so much, and I know so many people over the years from the shows that I've done, and including you, and all of these alumni who have so many great memories here, and who I know would love to work with each other again.
And they didn't go find a career in theater, but they
Yeah.
still want to do it. Kind of like
Right.
Rose was talking about, I just wanted to get my finger back into doing what I love doing,
Right.
still having my
Exactly.
job. So tapping into those resources.
Yeah. So I decided to create basically an alumni theater company, so that all of the people that have worked together over the years can kind of work together to bring something to life, like for themselves. And I think
And you've got a show coming up this summer called Cartoon that you're producing.
Yeah.
Christine Dunning is going to direct, so maybe we can get Rose Ward as an alum now to be a part of the
Yeah.
Alumni Theater.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's get it. We're really here to talk more about The Grapes of Wrath, which is an incredible novel by John Steinbeck that has been adapted for the stage, and we're doing it here, opening on March 29th. So let's go back to, how did you even know about this audition? How does somebody find about theater here at the campus? How did you know? You said Ray called you and said, "Hey, this is going to happen."
Yeah, he inboxed me and just, because I had been so out of touch. I mean, I do get the mailings from you, but I never really know when the auditions. And quite honestly, I stopped looking at auditions because of
Life.
Yeah. And so I wouldn't have known really.
Had he not reached out?
Yeah. I mean, although if I really, really wanted to, I could always, you or Tom, hey guys, you doing something?
Facebook,
let me
we
know.
put things up on Facebook. There's no
Right.
announcements
Yeah. So
about
that's a
auditions
good. Yeah,
and
that's a
things
good
like
way.
that.
But yeah, it was because he reached out. And then I came out that night, I think, or the next night. The next night. Yeah.
And Ray, we joyfully works for us too. As a part-time technician here at the, so you knew this was happening along the way, and so you both auditioned. So Tom O'Neill is directing this piece, which is the perfect person to take the helm of this. We love Tom to take the helm, and I know that he's just so involved in this play. He just so much loves this story and trying to tell this story. So at the auditions, you had to read. Did you guys read with each other?
We did.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Several times, actually. Yeah.
And it's interesting because you're playing Ma and you're playing the son Tom in the show. And so you got to read with each other. Did you have to do stage combat? I know there's fighting sequences in this. There's dancing.
There was a fight call for the audition because there's some fighting in the show, and it's cool to get to see who you have and who you can use for that.
Yeah. And then they did singing, because some people have to sing, or did we have?
Yeah, we had a little bit of singing in the audition room, kind of just singing together, just singing.
Because it's not really solo work for the most part. It's pretty much choral.
Yeah, there's a couple ensemble pieces
ensemble,
in there.
there's the word that I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
and there's some short little.
Right.
Yeah, there's some
Square
short little
dancey kind of,
solos.
stuff
But
like that.
it's more like playful and than it is kind of like singing out to the audience type of a singing thing. But there are some people who have a couple little short. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun, and the musicians are great. Yeah.
Oh, good. Right. Well, then we got musicians. So the show is huge. It's a very large cast. It's an incredible story. So you auditioned, you read, you sang, you did all these kind of things, and then we got to the first rehearsal. You got cast, and now you're putting this thing on its feet. What did you learn from the very? We have what's called in the theater first read-through, right, where we get to sit down at the table and just read the script in full before with everybody there. What's the learning curve of that first read-through? Do you find you learn anything, or is it just kind of let's just get through this?
No, I think it's definitely it's helpful. First of all, you're meeting the entire cast for the first time.
True.
So that whole experience of being in the same room with everyone that you're going to be on stage with, right? That's the start of this journey that you're going to, embark on with these people, become your family for the next few weeks. So that's helpful. And then just, hearing the different voices.
Right, because you've read the play, but now hearing the voices, Ray, you were going to add to that?
Yeah, it basically starts to come to life, essentially. You see the dynamic of who's who, who you're going to be working with, and also just you get to see the whole thing start to finish as a whole for the first time, and where you fit in there.
So we read it, you introduce everybody, you just kind of hear it out loud, and then you start putting it on its feet. And we get into blocking, which of course it's a huge stage, and there's a lot of journeys, and there's a lot of scenes in this play, right? About, I'm going to say a dozen, but I'm probably being very...
Just about.
About a dozen.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
About a dozen scenes there. And so you're trying to move from place to place there. And so we're going to get talking about the play itself and the story and what Ma and Tom's relationship is it on your journey through this play and the story you're telling. But we're going to take a quick break and let you sneeze. So come right back. We're going to take a break and we're going to talk to Ray and Rose more about The Grapes of Wrath.
When people think of scholarships, most think they can never get one. But thanks to Bergen Community College Foundation, it's possible for any student to obtain a scholarship, from students who are first generation to those in the LGBT. students who come from across the globe to those born right here in Bergen County. There's something for everyone. So how can we support this foundation? By donating and spreading the word. To learn more about what this foundation has done for the students, visit their website, foundation.bergen.edu, to learn more. You can help us help others achieve their dreams.
Why come to Bergen? Our Bergen community spans far and wide. Throughout Bergen County, the state of New Jersey, and, in a very real way, the world. From alumni and local residents looking for ways to become part of our Bergen community, the college offers a variety of opportunities, such as Anna Maria Saccone Theater. Students also choose Bergen because it provides students with a well-rounded educational experience and affordable tuition. No matter where you want to go, Bergen.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hello and welcome back to BergenStages Television. Today we're talking to Rose Ward and Ray Parente about the upcoming production of the wonderful novel brought to the stage by John Steinbeck called The Grapes of Wrath. And we were kind of talking about the audition process, but let's kind of move a little bit forward to talk about the story. Now, you play Ma Joad and you play Tom Joad. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about your characters. Ray, I'm going to pick on you first.
So Tom Joad, he's the second oldest of all of the Joad children. He had just gone away for 4 years to jail, the state penitentiary in Oklahoma. For killing a guy, but it was in self-defense. He had stabbed me. Or he had stabbed Tom, mm-hmm. and then so Tom hit him with a shovel and killed him. Uh-huh. So now he is returning home, but turns out that while he was away, the Dust Bowl happened. Right. So he comes home to find his whole home, everything that he's known, just like
it was all farmland
in like an apocalyptic state, essentially. Yeah. So it's quite a shock. So.
And yeah, so you walk in on this going, what's happened? What do we do? But Ma's been dealing with this, right, as we begin the play. Ma has already been experiencing what's happening with this Dust Bowl.
Yes.
So we get introduced to her, and what do we know about Ma?
So Ma is a hard worker, very determined woman, probably the core, strength of the family. She progressively gets stronger, I feel, throughout the play. Mm-hmm. She's very, distraught about his absence, and his return, just kind of brings hope back mm-hmm. into her eyes. She's, I think inside, way down deep inside, she is scared, and she is so uncertain of what's going to happen, and but she knows she has to be strong for the family,
If she's
or the
weak,
family,
everything's going to fall
as
apart.
we say, the family.
The family.
The family. But she's an interesting character, and a character that I'm still trying to connect to, but it's happening. Uh-huh. And he is just the apple of her eye.
Uh-huh.
She just adores him.
Well, she knew. You were packing up to get out of there. Your farm had been repossessed.
Yes,
I got it right. The bank had, which is what? Do we have a date for this? Did we?
1930s, I believe.
30.
The exact year isn't super specific, but I think it's about 1936.
36. Okay,
yeah.
So really at the peak of all this, all your neighbors are packing up and leaving, and so you're packing up to leave, but you would be leaving him,
Correct. Yeah. So she has that in the back of her mind. Mm-hmm. So although she knows she has to leave because we really have, we have no home. We don't have anything.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's no food. It's
right.
just,
Crops are, the crops are not growing. There hasn't been rain. It's just, Dust Bowl, mm-hmm. hence the word, mm-hmm. right? So, but in the back of her mind, she knows that she's leaving him, and we don't have cell phones, right? Back in the 30s like we do now. So, So she has that, and that's
It's a
eating
big
at her.
family too. You've got
Lots of
you've
children.
got the grandparents,
Yeah, and she's taking care of grandma and grandpa.
the husband,
you know. Yeah.
five children.
Five children.
Five children.
yeah.
Yeah.
My youngest.
All piling in a truck and going where? Where are you heading?
California.
California. Why California, Ray? What was?
Around that time, because people were experiencing this dust bowl and this complete upending of their lives, there were companies and farms out in California where things were still like, viable. They had been sending out handbills, essentially these little pieces of paper that's like, hey, help wanted. We need about this many men to come out and, pick peaches and cotton and all these kinds of different things. So they send that all out to the country where nobody has anything and they're looking for work. And so these droves and droves and droves of people go out to California.
Are migrating west to the West Coast where they've never been, giving up everything that the family. How long had y'all been on the farm? The family had owned the farm
Oh,
for
yeah, forever.
generations. Yeah. And so leaving Oklahoma, crossing in a truck, which the truck is not right off the new lot.
It was a lemon. They picked up a used car and got ripped off for it.
Which director Tom O'Neill, I must say, has created and given birth to this.
An amazing
Yes,
truck.
it's
truck
so
takes
cool.
This
The truck,
journey
yeah.
that
Yeah.
everybody piles
Yeah.
on and
Yeah.
heads across the country. And then along the way, you meet some interesting. So you pack up and everybody goes. There's loss of life. I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but if you know the John Steinbeck novel, you know it's not all a happy journey. So you go on the way, and there's some loss of the family to death, and then to part ways and just kind of go on their own way. But you meet some interesting people along the way. Who are some of the people? Because it's a huge cast of characters in the novel as well. Who are some
Well,
of the
you got the preacher.
You got the preacher who joins you.
Who right from the beginning of his journey,
Yeah, Casey is a whole different. It's an extra animal on top of it, but essentially he's a mentor for Tom, who's kind of trying to get him to see the world in a more connected, compassionate way, so that he can do something for
Tom's
that
a little
world.
bitter after the whole jail thing. There's a lot of bitterness. So trying to
Yeah.
get that, and even through Ma and her hope and passion, is hard to break you out of this quick temper that am I right? I feel he's very quick tempered on all this
we
kind of stuff.
yeah, we played a little bit with that last night.
Yeah.
The quick temper and the
Yeah.
Yeah, even just talking about, because we had gone over a scene where there's a conversation, Ma's basically trying to dig towards the truth and get out of me like, hey, are you mad at anybody for being put away? And it's one of those moments where you kind of get to see where Tom is at in terms of how he sees the world and justice and all those things.
Yeah, and is there? And then now you're traveling across this country where you think it's all the United States, and you're dealing with prejudice from other people that you meet along the way are like
Prejudice, greed.
Greed, Oklahoma.
yeah,
Oh, you're from Oklahoma. You're one of those people, kind of. We deal with not to talk about politics, but the migration at our border coming up from the south. But this is migration just from one part of the country to the other, and you run into all sorts of people. Yeah, am I?
Yeah, one of the first people that we run into is called the Man Going Back. Because he's on his way back home from California, and he's kind of warning us, telling us that there seems to be a situation there where there's too many people to work, so now they can take advantage and really drive down the wages and,
there's no union involved at this point down in California.
Exactly.
Wow. So do you heed that warning? No, you just go, well, he means other people, and
we got nothing else that we can do, so...
go back to what? Yeah. And then a lot of police and are on your track too. What do you eat along the way? How do you survive?
Lots of potatoes.
Yeah.
But toward the end, there's really not much of. I mean, they're really starving at the end, But we leave with a couple of pigs, salted pigs that'll last.
That you've taken care of along the way. But that's
Yeah.
how you eat. So
Yeah.
So has this made you understand a little bit more about the plight of the migrants during the Great Depression?
Absolutely,
Dust Bowl? Has
yeah.
this?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know about the whole Okie story as a thing until I really got to see this novel, because I mean, naturally those parts of our history we try to, you know, kind of
Brush under the rug.
But it
stuff
got better.
down a little bit. Yeah.
And now we're okay.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really eye-opening. But the thing is, this is a story that I feel like, you know, can pertain to today. It kind of transcends time a little bit.
Definitely. And Tom, as we said, is such a masterful director at this, and just so passionate about this period of history, which there's great photographs taken that I'm sure he shared all these with you of people on the journey, and you probably can identify with some of those photos that we have. That Tim Blanc is actually going to put a lobby display of these photos
that'll be nice.
in the Saccone lobby during the production there. And then there's music as well. And Ray, I know you've helped with music, and there's a lot of that folk song.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So like one of the big traditions for, I mean, of course, just always going back, is music, especially among this group of people. You know, they come from the farms. It's like at the end of the day, you'd all get together and have a little
there was no
jam.
television, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Radio
exactly.
and
Maybe the radio if you could get
Right,
the wires to work.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So music was a big thing, and the guys are doing a great job. Like I said earlier, it sounds really, it's fun.
Great. So accompanied with all this great music is just taking us on this journey with that. That's great. And then there's like a square dance. Everybody kind of comes together and just so there's some joyful moments along the way there as you're taking this journey. This is great. So we don't want to give away anything that happens at the end of it, but hopefully everybody's read the John Steinbeck novel at some point. Or there's a great movie with Henry Fonda as well that they did of it. But then after the movie, this play has been written since this adaptation, and then Tom O'Neill has done some work with this adaptation that I think is so terrific. So Marie Natali is giving you costumes, and you're working in costumes.
We love
what do these
Marie.
people get to wear? You know, hoop skirts?
Well, you know, Mom's a farmer. She's a worker, and she's a workhorse. I mean, she's always in the kitchen. So, you know, no glamour there. But, you know, an ordinary sort of house dress, you know, apron and some, you know, farm shoes.
She's had for years and years. Nothing.
Yeah. She's not a glamorous, you know, yeah.
I don't know that there's too many glamorous. I mean, I think the glamour has been left behind. Hopefully it'll be in California, but the glamour. And you're, you know, the blue jeans kind of work-a-day kind of clothes.
Yeah, worker, farm worker. Yeah, pretty much. Overalls and such. Yeah, things
And
like
some
that.
of the locations, I know that Graham Fry has designed the set with a lot of locations. I know that you start at the farm, the truck goes on its journey, you meet people along at these tent cities, right? There's a lot of...
Yeah, as we're going along, they travel along Route 66. So they come across a couple little camps here and there because there's so many people migrating that these camps just pop up. So yeah.
So you get to meet these people and hear their journey stories and all that kind of stuff, and how people along the way took advantage of the campers, saying, no, we got to pay to stay on this side of the road. You know, this just trying to get money out of everybody. It was just kind of evil in its own way. So Graham has designed all these locations that you'll go to along the way, and then you do make it to California. I won't give that part away. Of course, you make it there, and then it's not a bed of roses.
Apparently not. Yeah. As soon as we get there, all of the ways that they're taking advantage out there. Yeah.
And now Miru Kim is designing the lights for the show. Peter Helf is doing double duty. He's our props coordinator as well as your assistant director for the show. We got Manito that is doing some choreography with some waltzes and doing some dance steps to the music that you guys are working on. And then it's all going to come together on March.
And Erin.
Erin Ingersoll is doing fight choreography. Yes, amazing fight choreography. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yes,
I'm so impressed.
She's
really.
been busy all year, and this has been like the culmination of her year of fight choreography.
I'm very,
working
very
with
impressed.
everybody. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed too. So,
Yeah.
so that's great. So
Yeah.
it's all going to come together on opening night on March 29th in the Saccone Theater. Yeah. So guys, I can't believe we're done. But thank you so much for being a part of the show.
thank you.
Rose Ward, Ray Parente, thank you for watching. Please join us in the theater at the Saccone Theater on March 29th. We open for 2 weekends, The Grapes of Wrath. We'll see you there. And thanks for watching.